Welcome to Three Blind Mike's podcast. Follow their journey as John J. the Real Hot Rod, Cletrodamus, and Portis the Assassin deliver the bottom line on the greatest pop culture entertainment debates of then and now. The Three Blind Mikes won't know the topic until the show begins, which surely will lead to an unscripted and uncensored good time. Now, let's go in blind on the road to nowhere.
I would say that the next one for me, I was a huge Unsolved Mysteries fan growing up.
Yes.
80s, 85, 90s, Robert Stack with the trench coat. And the new one that they've launched on Netflix, I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to the...
Well, yeah, I'm right there with you. I checked it out.
It's good. It has some merit. But if you're trying to they relaunched the franchise
with no narrator,
with no host. It needs a host. You got to get somebody
because and my biggest thing is I can see this every Friday night either on Dateline or 2020.
And there was something about they would do like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
they would be about 15 minutes long. No idea how long the episode was. It was that's how good it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That little segment, you had no idea. You'd look at the clock and be like, "Wow, that was 15 minutes."
Yeah, because you were stopped because you were so emotionally invested in it. Yeah.
Now it's an hour long. It's one story. Sometimes they're very complex. There's a lot of different things. They've got the music right. The music was always fantastic.
Oh, the music was sold the show.
I remember watching that as a kid. And literally, you'd hear the front door close and go, "Ah! Ah!" I mean, that's how much they sucked you in, like tractor beam, like, and you'd hear like a leaf, something out. You'd hear noises in the background. Hair on your neck would stand up. That the new one doesn't do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't have that kind of quality about it. I mean, I know there's probably a million more than that, but those are the two that come to mind. The DC franchise just laying an egg, and Unsolved Mysteries. Those are two that come to my mind right now.
Yeah, and go ahead, Jay. Yeah, that's the power entertainment has over us.
Yeah, here's the thing: let's get back to DC and Batman. Now, I am a very big Marvel person, because Marvel has saturated the market with so many characters, so many movies, so many...
Right. And also your children grew up with Marvel.
Exactly. But here's the thing, what people don't realize, and this is just my opinion, and, I'll live and die by this. When I was growing up, there was Batman, there was Superman, there was this. I didn't know the difference between Marvel and DC until I got into my 20s. And I got educated about who was on DC and who was on, Marvel. But here's the thing. And I don't know why DC doesn't capitalize on this. Okay, I'm going to testify. Batman, out of every superhero between Marvel and DC, Batman is the most realistic superhero that you can come close to. Because when I say realistic, Batman, he doesn't fly. He doesn't have all these superpowers.
He bleeds.
His suit, what he does is more realistic that you can fabricate than any other human being on Earth. I'm sorry. Batman is like the OG of superheroes because he's more realistic than anything else. I believe technology out there that can emulate what Batman can do, and I don't know why DC doesn't capitalize on the realism of that. If they did, I think they would be more competition with Marvel.
Yeah, and Portis, like how I was talking about, do you see that too, that we relate to Batman more than any other superhero because he's a regular guy who's a genius, but he has so many basic human traits. You know, he's haunted by past loss. He can be hurt. He's not superhuman. He's got to use his you know, his superpower really is his brain. Does that make him more relatable for you specifically?
Well, I mean, there is something about a guy who lives in a mansion who has an English butler. Who's somehow English, but he's got an English accent. But why? You're American. But
yeah,
no, I would just say the greatest thing about Batman is that you didn't have to kill him. With Superman, you had to kill him to make him interesting.
Yeah.
There's something about Superman, and while we're on the topic, Iron Man is Batman.
Yeah, exactly. He is Marvel's version of Batman without
and
question.
He was also Rand. I loved it when Iron Man came out, and it was such a great film. That was what the can do.
Yeah,
is that it can take somebody like an Iron Man, who was an also Rand. Like,
you're right. Yeah, he wasn't even a B plus player. He was like a C league.
He was on the like D squad. Like, you wouldn't even have invited him to the fight.
Yeah, he was like the backup to the JV. I mean, he was like the water boy
quarterback. He was the fourth string. Like, hey, should we sign this guy to the? You know what? He's got
to
kids.
The practice squad. Yeah, exactly.
He's got some kids. They could use the insurance. That is what. But the film was so good that it made him the greatest superhero ever.
Without question. Not only that, Portis, it launched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah.
Batman was first. And he doesn't have to die. I mean, I remember one of the greatest things about Superman was that they had to kill him to make him really, really interesting. And Batman, you don't have to kill him. Another thing is that I can't think of my next point. He had a great soundtrack for that first movie, Bat Dance.
Prince. Yeah, absolutely. One of the all-time great soundtracks.
Good one. And he's more relatable. You can relate to him, even though he is rich.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about, this goes back to the point we're making about the loyalty, the brand loyalty we have to Batman, because you've sat through the thing with the Batman films from the cinematic standpoint is you've had some of the greatest films of all time, The Dark Knight, the original Batman with Michael Keaton and the steam-ceiling Jack Nicholson. But then this franchise has also produced some of the worst sequels in the history of entertainment. Batman and Robin. Batman, without question.
I sat through Bat Nipples, okay? I didn't know the bat suit had nipples.
Yeah.
But you were willing to do it because of your love and devotion of the Cape Crusader.
I think that's Joel Schumacher's influence, like bringing about bat nipples. And I didn't know that the bat suit had to have nipples in it.
Well, not only that, you paid money. You paid about $10 to go see the Bat Nipples.
With nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Three Blind Mics is sponsored by the Family Proud, Family Strong Network via YouTube and powered by the Digital Media Productions.